All right, thank you. I'm calling the Monday, June 23rd, 2025 Planning Commission meeting to order. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you, everyone. All right, the first item on the agenda tonight is the approval of the agenda. Do you have any concerns about the agenda this evening? Would someone like to make a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve the agenda.
I have a motion approved. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second to approve the agenda. All those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, agenda's approved. Moving on, the minutes from the June 9th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. Does anyone have any concerns about the minutes or edits? All right, seeing none, I have one that I'd just like to mention. On page 3, Piper asked for and received confirmation there had been a planned LRT station on this property, which would not be built. I did mention City Hall property. If you read that, it says this, meaning you could read that as Danfoss property. So I'd just like to say City Hall property, please. Other than that, if there's no other amendments, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
Motion to approve the minutes with the changes.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of approving the minutes as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Moving on, we have one public hearing tonight for Radian Credit Union 2025-03. This is a planned unit development concept review on 0.77 acres, planned unit development district review with waivers on 0.77 acres, site plan review on 0.77 acres. Will the proponent of the project please come forward? Thank you, gentlemen. If you could state your name and spell it for record, and please walk us through your request.
Spelling is Knaeble.
I am Nathan Zwicky. I am architect and designer with the Redmond Group. Last name is Zywicki.
Thank you. Please tell us about your request.
Yeah, so we're here to request the approval of a new Viridian Credit Union off of Flying Cloud Drive and Middleset Road in Eden Prairie. I think we've got a PowerPoint. And Nathan's going to touch on the architecture and the Viridian. I'll talk a little bit about site plan, landscape, and that'll be it.
So we can go to the next slide.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, just kidding. There we go. A little bit about Viridian. They were founded in 1934 by a handful of John Deere tractor employees. It was founded because they wanted to offer their fellow coworkers an alternative to commercial banks and other for-profit financial institutions at that time. Currently, Viridian is a modern full-service financial institution that offers a broad range of products and services to fit a variety of their member preferences and lifestyles. They're not-for-profit and owned by their members, and their main objective is to benefit their members and their families throughout a variety of no or low-cost services, low loan rates, and higher savings rates. As Dave said, they're going to be on Flying Cloud Road, but currently they have a location at 6385 Old Shady Oak Road, Suite 110. Upon the approval of this, they are going to move their main location to the Flying Cloud location and keep this location open as well. The hours of operation are going to be Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30, and then Saturday, 8:30 to noon. They will have drive-up or drive-through traffic, approximately 35 to 40 vehicles per day. And then they wanted to note that most other branches see more in-branch traffic than drive-through traffic.
So yeah, the site itself is currently an existing car wash facility that will get demolished and then rebuilt with the new credit union building. Currently, there's 3 site accesses to the property, 1 off of Middleset and then 2 off of the private drive running north-south. The southern access of a Middleset is going to be removed as part of the project. And then the 2 accesses will be utilized off of the existing private drive. 2 bi-directional entrance at the south and then a one-way egress at the north end of the property. The project itself will, utilize existing utility services that are there serving the existing facility, and then it'll also be providing a new stormwater management system to meet the requirements of the watershed district, which is the Bradley Purgatory Bluff Creek watershed. And then landscaping wise, landscape plan is proposed to meet city requirements. Screening along Flying Cloud Drive, there's quite a grade change from Flying Cloud down to the site, so there'll be a little retaining wall. We'll have some screening on top of that. Screening around the building and then screening the parking lot on the west side with a couple of trees is currently proposed there.
So the building design itself is designed to be open and welcoming to current and potential membership. It incorporates large amounts of natural light and includes components that speak to Verdian's brand, including the green accents that are shown around the entry here in this image, and as well as the butterfly roof as well. The Veridian branches are designed to be clean and modern with a focus on delivering members through a digital-first philosophy, including in-branch support and guidance. Branch includes, like I said before, 2 drive lanes with an ATM. The exterior building materials and colors comply with the city code, mixing the various classes by means of glass, stone masonry, and aluminum siding. The overall architecture fits the surrounding area by bringing a new modern building to the Flying Cloud streetscape. This is another rendering from the other side. So the main entry is further into the rendering. This is the drive up. The ATM will be on the outside drive-through lane. And then we included a night shot as well, where they wanted to emphasize the entry by having some linear lights within the ACM, the metal panels, and as well as along the V-shaped butterfly roof soffit and fascia. That's it.
Yeah, so we're here to answer any questions you have on the project.
Great, thank you. Any initial questions?
Got a question, Commissioner. As
Commissioner
far as the ATM machine, you have one on the outside by the drive-through. Do you plan to have one on the inside of the entrance of the lobby as well, or?
They do not.
No? Okay,
The only thing they would plan on having in the lobby is a coin counter for public use.
okay.
Questions? You mentioned the experience, the other branches, you have more in-branch traffic than through the drive-through. Is that typical for standalone banks, or is it more of your experience?
Yeah, we're finding that to be a little bit more true, depending on the area in which they're in. The one that they're referring to now in the current location, they do have a little bit more lobby versus drive-up.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Farr?
Mr. Chair, yeah, I was going to make a comment on the landscaping plan regarding the ability of those plantings to screen headlights, because the drive-through lane faces north right against traffic of southbound Flying Cloud Drive. But then looking at your grading plan, I noticed that you do have a pretty good grade separation there with the retaining wall. So I don't think it's going to be a problem, but just maybe in the future, if headlights become a problem, I don't know if you could look at that later. It's only winter here, 6 months a year. So that may take some evergreens at the top of the hill at the far north end there, but just something to look out for.
Yes, Chair, Commissioner, yeah, good comment. I think the grade change will help with most of that concern. It's about 5 or 6 feet lower than the Flying Cloud Drive, so it shouldn't be an issue, but if it is, we can always add some landscaping in the future.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Otherwise, I like the way the plan circulates a lot.
Yeah, one more question.
Commissioner Towns.
Keeping on the concept of the landscaping, the trees that's along Middle East Road, they're pretty mature trees. Are they remaining, or are you pulling those out?
Chair, Commission members, yeah, we're proposing to remove a couple of the existing trees down by the entrance on the southwest corner of the site. But then there are 4 trees there that we're proposing to keep along Middleset. So there's a few that we had to remove to get the entrance to work and the grading to work. But then we are proposing to keep 4 of the 7 trees that are out there.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. We'll go to the city for the city's report. Jeremy, would you walk us through, please?
Thank you, Chair, Commissioners. Not a lot to add from my side. This is a redevelopment of the former Mr. Car Wash site, and some of you may recall there's a driveway as you exited the car wash right near the intersection with Middleset and Flying Cloud Drive. That is going to be removed at the request of the city to try to provide less choice right at that intersection, try to shift people further away from that major intersection. So that is an improvement on the site. There are 2 waivers being requested with this. This project, when it was a Mr. Car Wash, that was approved with variances. Back then, we didn't necessarily use PUDs is the same way we do now. And in that situation, we approved the 0-foot setback with variances. Here, we're approving it through, or recommending approval through the PUD waiver process. And the 2 waivers are parking setback. The parking lot is right up against the property line as part of that entrance drive. So it'll be a 0-foot setback instead of the required 10-foot setback. Same thing with the accessory structure, which is for the dumpster enclosure. The dumpster currently is located on someone else's property when it served Mr. Car Wash. That will be located in a conforming dumpster enclosure with a roof. That will be the 0-foot setback from the property line. It's not really a new standard or new condition in the sense that parking lot is already there now. Just as part of this approval, we wanted to make sure we granted the waivers as necessary. So staff is recommending support for those waivers because of how the site lays out and how the site has functioned over the last 20 years or so. The applicant had mentioned the parking exceeds the minimum requirements. The building materials and building design exceeds or meets the requirements from city code. The landscaping exceeds the requirements for city code when you factor in all the landscaping, shrubbery and trees and flower bed areas. So staff is recommending approval of this site plan, the PUD concept and the PUD waiver, subject to the conditions that are outlined in your staff report, most of which are would be shown in the final construction drawings. They're not formative. They won't change the layout at all. Just relatively minor comments to be addressed as part of the building and site permits. So staff recommends approval and stand for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for the city about this?
Mr. Chair, can I just ask a simple question? On the aerial, there's some yellow lines depicting the lots around this site, and just to the north, where that other multi-tenant building is, along Flying Cloud Drive, it seems like their property wraps around to the northwest on this shared driveway that the bank comes in and out from. And there's about what looks like maybe 6 or 7 parking stalls along there.
I have the Hennepin County aerial on my screen.
Okay.
Once that pops up.
So when you see the exit driveway from this bank on the north corner of their property, and right across from the driveway, it looks like there's about
On their new plan?
half dozen parking stalls along that shared driveway.
Okay.
Am I right that those appear to be the sole property of the next business to the north? Or is there some shared parking that this user could use there? Not that they're short on parking, but I'm just more curious about what's going on with that parking on the other side of the driveway.
So looking at the site plan on the screen now, are you referring to
Upper left, it's shaded gray, right there.
right in that area? Yeah, that is not on the subject property.
Right,
That has been used by, that's where the dumpster enclosure was for Mr. Car Wash, or the
Oh, I see.
dumpster was.
Okay.
So I think, and really, this whole kind of pod of commercial areas was developed kind of at the same time with the thought of cross-access and shared parking and shared access. So that really isn't changing here. in terms of how that kind of driveway can be used. Does that answer your question?
I believe so. Yeah, so this is a PUD. Is this PUD, this isn't a, I'm sorry, is this, we're not asking for a revised PUD. This is a new PUD.
This is a new PUD.
And so they're not absorbing other access rights that were in the earlier PUD.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, they're not changing anything. So absorbing is an interesting verb, but they're,
How do
what's
they have
theirs-
access? This isn't a public way, the driveway.
they have an access easement through that space.
They do.
Yes.
Okay. I thought that would have gone along with the previous PUD.
Well, again, there wasn't a previous PUD. It was all approved as part of some variances and some that kind of process. It wasn't formally
All right.
adopted as a PUD as we would do now.
Okay.
But there is an access easement for this property through that property.
All right. All right. So,
Through I believe it's a Diamond retailer. They can access through that property.
thank you. Appreciate the clarifications.
All right. This is a public hearing. If anyone would like to come forward to offer comments for or against this request, please do so now. Seeing none, I entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close public hearing.
A motion to close. Do I have a second to close?
Second.
Second to close public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing's closed. Any further discussion on this item? Would anyone like to make a motion? Looks like pretty straightforward.
Maybe before we make a motion, I'd just like to state, since we're looking at two waivers, I support the two waivers for the reasons cited in the staff report. And with that, I'll go ahead and make a motion to move to recommend approval for planned unit development concept review, planned unit development district review with waivers, and site plan review, all on 0.77 acres as recommended by staff, represented in the June 23rd, 2025 staff report.
All right, I have a motion from Commissioner Farr for approval. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Commissioner Weber for approval. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Would anyone like to abstain? All right. All right, good luck moving forward. Thank you for your presentation this evening. All right, Jeremy, any planners reports?
Not tonight.
Any members reports? Entertaining motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Nicely done, Chair.